Once the customer has downloaded the Arvest Banker Connect app, they will log in and they will see a few introductory screens. They will be asked to accept terms and conditions and will be able to log in using existing digital credentials. As they get into the app, they'll be asked to accept notifications and use biometric proxy if they want to, and will then be asked to select their primary banker. A customer can select any banker on the display or can search for a particular banker they would like to connect with. Once Soren in this example has selected Laura as his primary banker, they are now connected. And any further engagement will be between the two of them. Let's look at both sides of the equation. On the left-hand side, we see Laura's dashboard. That is how Laura communicates with Soren, who's on the phone on the right-hand side. You can see Laura can freehand type messages, or she can cheat a bit and create her own pre-typed messages under Toolbox. Any message received from Laura by Soren will be prepended by Laura's profile photo. Now we know a customer is likely to log out. So once a customer has left the app, as a banker you're able to send them a message, and that will trigger a push notification for the customer and a little numerical indicator on the app. Next time the customer logs into the app, they're able to see the message from Laura and can respond to that. In this example, Soren is saying that he needs some help with a mortgage. But you'll see a few things happening on the 18IQ side on the dashboard. The first thing you'll see is that artificial intelligence tags the conversation with what this is about, buying a home and about a mortgage. This makes it easier for analytics. You'll also see AI will recommend responses that it has learned from other bankers. AI will also call attention to marketing materials or documents that may be relevant. As you'll see up here on the left-hand side, marketing materials, then you can have a look at first and then send to Soren, the customer. You can also look at bigger documents and have a quick view of what does this document say before you send it off to your customer. Remember, AI will only recommend documents and materials. It will never send it on your behalf. So you're always in charge. Once Soren receives these documents, he can click on them within the mobile app or maybe go through these documents and materials later with his wife or partner. Often it's useful to you to understand if Soren has actually seen the documents. So by clicking on the little box up to the right, you will see system messages that tells us that Soren actually clicked on the fixed rate mortgage and actually read that document. It is useful when we are managing many customers to be able to take some notes and just remind ourselves, what is this conversation about? So first, what you'll see in the app here is Soren is able to share documents. In this case, we took a picture of a front yard, but this could be, for example, a W-2 or utility bill or similar. And that document or photo will get delivered into the dashboard where it will be retained and you can access it anytime you want. You're also able to download the document or the picture and save it to anywhere you want to. During the terms of your conversation with the customer, you are likely to get some piece of information that could be valuable for you to retain. So in this case, Soren is saying that he is looking for a house with a yard and that he has 11-year-old twins. Now that may be useful for next time you talk to Soren to remember that. So under conversation info, you are able to create notes for yourself and for anybody else you invite into the conversation, as you'll see later. These notes are kept here, they will not be deleted. You can remove them if you want, but they're really meant to make life easier for you. Sometimes it is desirable to be able to invite a subject matter expert into the conversation. In this example, Laura is going to invite one of her colleagues to join the conversation. She asks Soren if that is okay, and when he goes ahead and says, yes, that's fine, Laura can now go up into the dashboard, up to the little plus in the right hand corner and select either somebody who's online right now or sort by team to add one of Laura's colleagues to the conversation. In this case, Laura's adding Sally, who's a subject matter expert on mortgages. Laura can send a little note to Sally so she knows to kind of do an introduction, mostly pointed at Soren really, because when Sally sees this conversation, she'll be notified that she's been invited to the conversation, and Sally can read the whole past conversation to make sure that she's up to speed before she starts responding to Soren and start potentially sending the same documents that Laura just did. So as you see, for the customer, it's obvious to see who joined and who sent the message. Just a couple of little tips that may be useful. When you are in your dashboard, you can go to customer info. Within customer info, you are able to sort your customers by join date, by chat time, etc., etc. And it's just some tools that make it easier for you to manage a stable of your customers. One of the things we also found useful is the ability to, for example, based on chat time, select a group of customers that either you know or you haven't spoken to for a while and reach out to them proactively, send them a push notification about something that could be of relevance to them. To make it a little easier for you, it is possible to select multiple customers. You can pick all your customers or some of your customers, and you can send them all what is effectively a bulk message. Now, for each of the customers, this is going to look like the message was received just from you. And here, Laura has clicked and said, I want to send a message to these 6 people. And in this case, she's announcing some options around home financing. But really the purpose is to make it easier for you to engage with and manage a large stable of customers. As I said before, for Soren, when he receives this message, it will feel like a message that was sent only for him by Laura. The last thing I want to show is there's a little bell up in the right hand corner with a numerical indicator. That is the notification dashboard. When you click on the notification dashboard, you'll be notified of messages that tells you, for example, you're added to a conversation, or you may receive messages from your manager or administrator.